As Bitcoin is going through insane volatility, what does this mean for XRP? Many altcoins, including Ethereum, ADA, XRP, meme coins, and so forth, are becoming increasingly decoupled from Bitcoin. And it makes it that much harder to identify in this current cycle which coins may sustain their bull run. But that is where the Elliott Wave Theory comes in, offering unbiased clarity. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the XForceGlobal channel. I am a certified Elliott Wave analyst, and I'm here to provide non-biased updates for Bitcoin and altcoins like XRP. But just a very quick friendly reminder to please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you would like more updates like XRP. Your interest is very important to me. So getting right into the analysis, we discussed 3 possible scenarios, and miraculously, XRP is still holding above a very important level. And as Bitcoin is experiencing downward pressure and there's no real clarity in terms of the overall macro structure on Bitcoin, XRP still provides strong clarity when we're applying the Elliott Wave Theory. So what that means is that we may be working in what the first scenario that we discussed in the previous video as a flat idea. Now, the flat is observed in different variations, but this most commonly observed variation is possibly a expanded flat idea where we create 2 price extreme points for this wave B and the wave C within the flat. So for this wave B, we are going to be expecting a price extreme, meaning that we're going to be breaching this previous high, creating another new all-time high. And I would expect a minimum target of around the 123.6% all the way up to the maximum 138.2% as a possible rejection zone for the around $4.30 before we come back down for another distribution that entirely creates a range that is not necessarily bearish where many people think it might be, but rather we're seeing this as a possible distribution sideways accumulation on a smaller scale, just like we experienced as a triangle pattern on a larger wave 4. So this is just a smaller kind of type of accumulation pattern, a sideways pattern that is. So if that's the case, it's built as a 3-3-5 structure. The first wave A is created as an ABC, and then the second idea possibly most likely as a WXY going into a wave B. And then once we get into that 138.2% between the 123.6%, we're going to see another rejection. And this is where if we get a controlled impulse to the downside, and especially if we get a 3-way move for this B wave, is going to be more opportunity for me to be accumulating more Bitcoin. But not everyone is going to be wanting the situation because I know many of you are positioned differently. Many of you are possibly positioned here, or even here. So the risk increases, and that brings me on to the second scenario where many of you, and understandably rightfully so, may want to be seeing this scenario where we're just going to be breaking out of this region here. Now, I can also side with this idea here as well, just due to the fact that from previous bull markets, we've experienced strong wave 5s to the upside, just like we saw for this wave 4. We saw a straight up arrow basically for this wave 5 to complete off a wave 3 of a higher degree. So is that possibly the case here? Absolutely possible. Just due to the fact, again, we're above a very critical level that we created here for a wave 4, and we're just shifting the higher degrees where we're labeling the wave 3 here instead of over here as a 3, 4, 5 going up. This is just a distribution in itself as a wave 4. If that's the case, we're going to be looking for a 5-wave impulse to the upside, and I know many of you are going to possibly want this. It's not as ambitious as the first scenario where we create a larger distribution pattern, as you can see here, where we create a sideways move here, possibly going into 2026. The wave 3 is going to be far more profitable in the long term, but this idea is just sensing the based on the sense that we're going to be working towards the upside, but it won't be as ambitious. Possibly around the $8 to $10 is going to be the maximum level for this bull run, and that's okay to me as well. Whatever comes first is what we're going to be choosing. And then we talked about another scenario which is going to be very similar, where we keep the integrity of this 5-way move of the minor degree to the upside as a 5-way move into a wave 1. And instead of working for a larger distribution pattern, this is now working as a possible sharp correction. So in the shorter time frame, this is going to be a little bit, it's going to create some hardships for everyone, basically, in this scenario, where we create a WXY to this, to the downside, and then we retest the sub $1 levels first before everything else, and then we create that larger wave 3 to the upside, which is going to be extremely profitable in that sense as well. So as you can see, all scenarios is leaning towards the upside. They're all just, the shorter time frame variations are just going to be different, and then the overall expectation of the ultimate and target is also different in that regard as well. So you just got to pick one. I know everyone is positioned differently, but since I'm positioned here, I'm ready to offload the rest of my XRP at whatever target, what comes first, just like an engine and oil change for a car. So let's zoom into the shorter time frame, see how that can be actually created based on the first idea that we discussed, that possible flat idea where we may be creating a sideways distribution. Right now we may be observing, like I said, as a 335 flat, meaning that the first wave move here is an ABC, and then this move may be a WXY or an ABC maybe, we don't know, but most likely observe it as a WXY just due to the rejection that we had over here. As long as we get supported above this region here around the $2 region, $1.90 exact point, and then we're going to be looking for an ABC to the upside to complete off this possible flat idea. Now, again, the major zone that we're going to be looking for is that 123.6%. So if we pull the Fibonacci retracement projection targets, then we can see the 123.6. Where are you at? Right here. And the 138.2% zone is going to be a very crucial level for this scenario. And if we're expecting a rejection around the $4 region, which is a major even number, then we can be looking for another 5-wave move before we actually start accumulating more for at this C wave. So that's the first scenario. And then the second scenario is that the wave 2 has completed entirely. I don't have this drawn out, but that means that this is ABC is now completed entirely for this intermediate degree. And then we're looking for this to be a wave 1 too. Now, this is not perfectly being built up right now because we need this to show some more clarity as an impulse move, and this right here just does not provide real clarity, enough clarity, and that rejection that we had off of the top, it doesn't show a strong possibility as an impulse to the upside. So this has to be deemed as an alternative scenario. So it's all about probabilities and organizing this. As an Elliottian, the hardest thing is organizing your scenarios, and right now this idea just being an impulse just falls a little bit short in that sense because right now the markets are experiencing quite a bit of volatility. So this is also that second scenario which would fit into the idea that we may be working for an impulse to the upside. So none of these are invalidated. We're just waiting for some confirmation on how this is being played out. So if you really want it to move up and you want that fifth wave to the upside right now, you're going to have to hope that a wave 3 is in play right now instead of a 3-wave move where a B wave might get a rejection around that Fibonacci level that I discussed. And then there's another rational idea that I'm still tinkering around with in terms of how sensible it may be. I think that this also could be turning into what could be another ABC to the downside where we break these two previous regional lows and then we create one more low over here around the sub $1 to the mid $1 levels where we may be reaching another wave Y target as we need a partner like for this move here. And this here was just considered a corrective range for a wave X, and very nice. It's actually quite nice because if you take the trend-based Fibonacci extension tool, I think that it did hit the 100% level exactly on target. So this wave X actually does have a lot of merit. So this actually might become my second scenario. It's either do or die at this point. I think we're going to be moving correctively to the upside where we create one more move to the upside with whatever miraculous move that Bitcoin does, or we're working for one more move to the downside where we break this previous low over here. Now, I'm going to tell everyone here, this is where the Elliott Wave Theory helps provide clarity. If we're experiencing threes and threes and threes here, then there is a very good chance that this is giving us a sensible idea that this is also working correctively. So if we break these levels here, I would expect that this is going to be a wave Y, where many people might think that this is an extremely bearish move to the downside, that this is also showing us possibly rather, that this is going to be the end of a correction and we may be working to the upside. But that does reduce a lot of probabilities when it does break that level, so this would be the last resort of a bullish scenario, and that gives me the risk management approach on how I can handle my portfolio. And if we start breaking below the $1 levels, then we're going to have to really figure out from a risk management perspective on how to find exit possibilities from that point, as we may be entering a bear market at that point. But for now, as you can see, we are working within the flat idea as the first possible scenario. And if you are positioned and at a higher level, I know you guys are probably going to be wanting the higher fifth wave to the upside. And if not, the third scenario is also in play here, which is also fine by me because it still gives us room to validate a bullish structure. So as you can see, with all of the decoupling that's happening within the markets, XRP is still one of the first coins, in my opinion, to portray such a strong bullish sentiment. There is really no bearish sentiment at the current time being. Even if there is, it's just no point in talking about it. So that is why I think XRP still has a very good chance for continuing its bull run. As opposed to Ethereum, where it's just up or down, it's a bit harder to grasp and stomach in terms of where you might be positioned and how you can position and maximize your entries. It just doesn't provide enough clarity, even with the Elliott Wave Theory. So we need to pick the coins that offer the highest clarity, and right now XRP shows that. So hopefully that was helpful, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me. If you're interested in joining the XForceGlobal Discord membership, it's all in the description below. The links are there. If you're interested in joining, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And we also offer a Patreon membership, which is also 2 video updates a week. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Please make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And remember, I'm pumping out these videos as much as I can because you guys are showing the interest as you hit that like button. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a fantastic rest of the week. Bye-bye.